The Random Jottings of Donald J. from Nelson in Pendle. Haunted Higherford Methodist Chapel. Haunted Higherford Methodist Chapel. Pendle. Lost building reappears in Japan with ghosts, spirits, and hauntings as well. In the small village of Higherford, nestled within the picturesque Pendle countryside, stood the historic Higherford Methodist Chapel. For nearly a century, it had been a sacred place where generations of Methodist worshippers were christened, married, and mourned. However, as the years went by, the ravages of time took their toll on the Victorian building. The roof began to leak, and dry rot set in, prompting a difficult decision. The chapel had to be demolished. In the late 1980s, Hurricane Harry Smith's construction company was entrusted with the task of bringing down the aging chapel. As the walls crumbled and the structure was dismantled, the workers meticulously numbered each stone, preserving the memories ingrained within its walls. The entire church, except for two grand gateposts that proudly stood at the entrance of a nearby house in Blacko, was then purchased by a visionary businessman. Rumors spread through the local community about the fate of their beloved chapel. Whispers hinted that it had been sold to a buyer in the Far East, destined to become a Victorian-style pub. The news struck the hearts of Higherford Methodist Church members with sadness, for they had hoped to preserve the memories associated with the chapel. However, on a fateful Monday, Pendle MP Gordon Prentice met with the chapel's new owner, a Japanese hotelier named Mr. Takeyuki, at the prestigious House of Commons. Over a cup of afternoon tea, Mr. Prentice discovered the truth. The building had indeed been bought by Sun Life Corporation and shipped all the way to Japan. The Methodist community was initially taken aback by this unexpected turn of events. Yet, they found solace in the fact that their cherished chapel had found new life, even if it was thousands of miles away. Mr. Arthur Peel, a resident of Barrowford and a devout member of the Higherford Methodist Church, expressed his thoughts, saying, "It was a sad day when the old chapel came down. However, it is comforting to know that the building will continue to exist and be appreciated. We were concerned it might be turned into a pub, but now we realize it will serve a different purpose altogether. We extend our warmest welcome to visitors from Japan who wish to see our new building." Mr. Prentice, sharing his perspective on this unique occurrence, said, "Mr. Takeyuki seems to have a penchant for the extraordinary. It's likely that some of the guests staying at his hotel in Japan will be interested in visiting the original site of the chapel, experiencing its historical and spiritual significance. This unexpected connection could potentially boost tourism in our region." Months later, halfway around the world in Tokyo, the reconstruction of the Higherford Methodist Chapel had been completed. Renamed the Chapel Grand Victoria, it stood as an annex to the Hoshioji Hotel New Grand, proudly showcasing its rich history amidst the bustling city. The chapel's distinctive Victorian architecture, now adorned with traditional Japanese elements, created a unique and captivating atmosphere. However, as the chapel settled into its new surroundings, some peculiar occurrences were reported. Guests staying at the hotel began to whisper about ghostly apparitions and unexplained phenomena. It seemed that the spirits of the chapel had made the journey to Japan alongside the physical structure. Doors would creak open by themselves, ethereal voices echoed through the corridors, and flickering lights cast eerie shadows on the chapel's walls. Rather than deterring visitors, these ghostly encounters became a peculiar attraction. Curiosity sparked, and people flocked to the Chapel Grand Victoria, eager to experience its haunted reputation firsthand. The hotel management embraced the supernatural ambience, organizing ghost tours and paranormal investigations, providing thrill seekers with an unforgettable and spine-tingling experience. Back in the quiet village of Higherford, the news of their chapel's ghostly reputation spread like wildfire. The locals felt a mixture of pride and bemusement, knowing that the spirits of their ancestors had found an unexpected home in distant Japan. Though physically separated, the chapel remained a bridge between two cultures, forging a connection that transcended borders and time itself. And so, as the Chapel Grand Victoria welcomed guests from near and far, the spirits of Higherford Methodist Chapel continued to wander its hallowed halls. They whispered their stories, their presence a reminder of the chapel's rich history. The ghosts and spirits, once local legends, had now become emissaries of a distant land, forever entwined with the chapel's enduring spirit. By Donald J.